I could code a bot program. Well, I can't. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie. But not like develop on my own. I could open it up, the folder, and I could, like most of the dudes were doing, copying and pasting it into a folder. And then, you know, I ain't sitting there typing character for character. Somebody get good at a program. Had a guy named Chaos. He's a white dude from Florida. His sister was a hoe in the room. Fat white girl. She had a baby by every race there ever was. No, I'm just exaggerating. But all the babies she had, she loved her some black dick though. And her brother was a slick motherfucker. We became pretty good friends. You never could trust a criminal-minded person. Especially, I don't trust anyone. To a certain extent, you got to show me. Although I'd rather be alone. Maybe having somebody around trying to evaluate some fucking next human being. Get the fuck out of here. You'll find that out in life too. Sitting around trying to evaluate the next human being. You gotta be stupid. If it was your job, yeah. Like a job interviewer, you're working human resources, you're a job interviewer, or you got some kind of business going on, you got to pull legitimate stuff. Can't go by what this person says. You got to pull legitimate stuff up, man. You got to get you a good, you got to get you a good, you got to get you a good investigative program. I'll get you a good investigative program and find out who you really dealing with. That's what you gotta do. Yeah, Chaos fucked up. His name was William, the guy's last name. We had access to each other's computers. Had a private computer, then I had the one I had all them dirty ass programs on. He fucked up because he really like tricked me too. I ain't gonna lie. Said he wanted me to be the moderator of his site that he was making where we play games on. But what he did is when he sent me the program, Dum put a Trojan in there. So I caught it. So I could see what he doing too. And then I told him. Because the program was, what I found out when he was being dishonest, a program was missing. I had this boot program I got from another coder. And he see me tearing those rooms out of frame, and he was like, "Where'd you get that from?" I'm like, I don't know nothing but that guy's fucking name. It's like a second version, it's like an upgrade of the one that everyone else was using. But it wasn't working 100% of the time. It's like you talk shit to me in the room, I'll just type your ID, what your ID is. I'll type that in the box on the program. It's a little program, you know, like on your desktop. You know, it's got like a disconnect code in there. Disconnect you from the server, from the Yahoo server. And that's all it did. It'll disconnect you. Period. It'll send so much information to that port that you logged in on, which is your name. Whatever port your name is on. And like I said, you got bots. You set up the bots and you set up the sockets, which is the port. It's going to find which port you're on, because all the sockets are going to be Yahoo sockets. So then you just send a shitload of information there, like other people's ID. Other people's ID holds a lot of information. But anyway, if it don't have to be their real information. It could be, a lot of people make accounts. It's not even, you know, you got to be safe. You don't want to be stupid and give them your real info. Some people are. You could get bots that is handmade, personal. You could say you make bots and name, call them knock them offline bot. Knock them off line 1, knock them off line 2, knock them off line 3. You can make 100 of them. Then you gotta get sockets for them. Available sockets. You gotta get a socket like Hunter. A hunt down working sockets that you could connect each of those 1 through 100 bots on. And say like 50 of them only work. Only if it doesn't matter how many of them don't work, as long as it's enough to make your connection time out. And then there you go. Your shit that your program closes. Then you try to log back in. If I keep your name in and keep doing it, you're never getting back in till I raise up off you. Or if I don't want anyone to get in, fill up the whole room with those things. And all people could do in there, and all people could do in there is just watch. All people could do in there is just watch their friends. See, that's when it usually happens. When you say I come in there as a stranger, and I'm trying to get to know people. You got niggas in there that already, you know, everybody's acquainted with one another. That's their hood. That's their park. You know, that's their corner. That's what it reminds me of, like a street corner or like a park where people hang out at. You know, like a club, like a clubhouse or some shit. That's what it reminds me of, like a clubhouse. And as soon as someone come in there that they don't know, it's like any other animal. Humans are no different than the other animals. It's just that we have intellect. Because animals have intelligence. It's that we have intellect. That's all. That makes the difference. And same as an animal though. People start saying, who's that guy? Who's that chick? You a fat, ugly chick? There's some people in there that want you. Even y'all know that. There may be a fine, sexy chick come through there. The motherfucker be like, what's your name? Looking at the profile, and then all the guys gonna be blowing her box up. That happens in chat rooms too. Then you're always gonna have those cuck simp niggas. say, what is simp? A simp is somebody that spends money on a bitch and gives her stuff and everything, not knowing if you will get the pussy or not. If that's what he's after. Until he finds out later on that's nothing but a wet stink hole that smells like fish and yeast there just to make babies. Anything after making babies, I'm gonna skip again. Anything after making babies, when it comes to pussy, it's just perverted or just sex, period. Anything that goes beyond reproduction purposes, nature produces itself to perpetuate itself. So, got a couple of horny consenting individuals, and they go at it and they make babies, or a baby, whatever, or maybe not. Maybe not. But that's the purpose of it. That's what it's for. And if you're using it for anything other than that, then you're perverting the use of it. So I could kind of understand the ancients and their beliefs. Bible, Quran, whatever. There's books like 3,000 years before that. They know that it's for reproductive purposes. And if you use it for anything other than that, of course it's going to feel good, because it's going to want you to do it over and over and over again. Then it gets dull. Like, you know, kind of chemicals or hormones, it's going to get dull. Then it's not going to be as exciting anymore. And that's how that shit works. Now you're wondering why the fuck you even with this person. Because now the rose-colored glasses come off, the honeymoon's over. And it's going to just last as long as possible. A week, a month. This may be one night. That's when your oxytocin is kind of broken, kind of fucked up. If you're one of those one night standers, even if you want a different person every weekend, that means you're bonding. Those hormones and chemicals that makes you bond. Like friendship, that's a chemical bond. You got a best friend, you see? You got a so-called girlfriend or a wife or a fiance, whatever. And you find yourself being close, you're close. That's oxytocin. Makes you feel that way. Oxytocin, without that, there would be no bond. But what happens is that when someone's been with so many different people, it doesn't matter who got over on who. That part of your anatomy, it's not going to work right. It's broken. That's what it is. It's broken. Like your grandmother. I'm going to say your say your great-grandmother. I ain't even going to say grandmothers anymore. Say your great-grandmother. She might have been with like one or two men her whole life. You understand? Not going on dates with like 1,000 men. Get the fuck out of here. Your great-grandmother might have been with like one man or two their whole life. And they got married. See what I mean? And they got widowed. They became a widow. And they didn't remarry. They ain't fucking around anymore. Her man's in the ground. But these bitches today, they ain't even 25 years old yet. They done been with 100 men. What kind of shit is that? That's not cool. You're broken. The same way if it was in your grandmother's time, great-grandmother's time, that bitch that was with 100 men, that time, she's the town whore. Anybody want to get their dick sucked, they find her. That's like an automatic. That's like a 99% shot. You getting something out of that. Give her what she likes or whatever, or just do it for free. IOU or whatever, however you're playing it. But back then, great-grandmother, that wasn't going to happen. Because there was shame. Shame keeps societies kind of moral, makes it high standards. It makes your morals strong. Shame does that. Without shame, this society's shot to shit. That's why all this crazy shit be happening. Because people have no shame anymore. You know? They don't care who knows. It's a selfish, narcissistic type of society. It's like they don't care who knows. Yeah, I had the train ran on me last night. The whole football team fucked me. And the quarterback, he can't fuck. But you know that little halfback? He got some good dick, you know? Bitches ain't got no shame in their game at all. They don't care anymore. Either they're going to be outright with it, or they're going to be covert with it. They're going to hide it, but they're still doing the same thing. Except the other one is so-called keeping it real. No, you're keeping it real stupid. If you're letting everybody know that you're a cum bucket, it's stupid in the first place to even be that type of a person. That's why they say sex is so sacred. Some civilizations and some societies look at sex as sacred, and yes, you're supposed to treat that woman with tender love and care. Now, these days, these bitches don't give a fuck. It's like men are dumb, men are stupid. We got what they want, so they got to pay for it. You know, like it's like they buying something. And it's nothing but a little stinky, little pissy, yeasty little hole. You know, ain't nobody doing nothing with that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's doing nothing. What are you going to do with that? What am I going to do with that? You know what I'm saying? What am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with a woman? I ain't giving her shit. She ain't getting shit from me. If I got some shit to give away that I don't need, I may look at one of the neighbors or someone, or try to get to know someone. Say, hey, by the way, you need a washing machine? Or, by the way, you need a deep freezer? Or how about a clothes? You know, and there's people that's going to say, yeah. I ain't looking for no pussy from them. Or no head from them. You can have that shit. I know what it is already. Come on, I got 4 children, man. I know what it is already. And I know what women use it for. So, I ain't paying a bust a nut. Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck about which Facebook, Instagram, Playboy, Hustle, whoever kind of magazine, Backpage, whatever the fuck, man. Whatever they selling ass or giving away ass or bartering or wherever the scene is, you know, that's just disgusting and filthy. I can't afford to get sick now. I've been doing fine all these years, man. And I'm gonna get sick now messing with some little stink bitch. Then had all kind of nuts dripping out of her. Since you don't even know who you sleeping with in your own bed. They're not getting offline. You found that bitch online, she's never getting offline. Because she's already addicted to social media. She ain't getting offline. She may tell you that shit. Trust me, she's never getting offline. Trust me. You got a bitch from offline, online, you got you a bitch. Trust me, she's never getting offline. You could threaten her, you could beat her up, all of that. She'll never get offline. So for you guys that's listening, and the same way for you girls, you females, same thing. You fucking with a guy, he ain't gonna get rid of none of that stuff, especially if he's a player. Well, you'll know. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with checking. Yeah, you gotta be trustworthy with the next person. Shit's gotta shut down for that time after y'all say that y'all together. It all has to shut down. All that shit gotta shut down. You pick up a bitch online, she's never getting offline. Trust me. I know from experience, and I know from the very beginning. When it all started, they're never gonna get offline. They'll always stay online. Now, if you guys are gonna put your cards on the table and see what you're holding, that means you gotta see the people's friends list, all this other crazy ass shit. You got friends list, you gotta see your friends list, you gotta see her friends list. You gotta try to explain to each other how shit's gonna go down and what kind of relationship it's gonna be. Because if you just go ahead on and think you got you a woman, that's a bunch of bullshit. She's still gonna be online. This bull is coming up, man. That's from that dummy keep on stomping the damn thing. I gotta get some screws to put in there. Yeah, I'm gonna get off of here now. I started taping, recording an hour, 8 minutes ago. So, peace and love, my brothers and sisters.